A picture speaks 1,000 words, they say. And that is exactly what is happening in the case of Jacqueline Fernandez, whose tasveer with one of India's biggest conmen, Sukesh Chandrasekhar, is fast becoming a cause of tension for the actress. Watch this video till the end and the uncut version on my Instagram to know more dhamakedar details about this lutera and his super filmy kahani. But before that, please hit on the bell icon to never miss any such Dasu Dastans. The photo that was reportedly taken back in April or June this year has now surfaced, in which the prime accused in the 200 crore extortion case, Sukesh, is seen kissing Jacqueline Fernandez on her cheek from behind and she's smiling. Sukesh is also capturing this Kodak moment by clicking a selfie on his iPhone 12 Pro. Apparently, this is the same iPhone with which Sukesh carried out the scam using an Israeli SIM card. Now, Sukesh was reportedly using the same mobile phone while he was inside the jail too. Last month, Jacqueline Fernandez was questioned for 7 hours by the Enforcement Directorate in connection with the 200 crore extortion case involving conman Sukesh and his wife, actor Lina Maria Paul. So far, Jacqueline has maintained that she is a victim of Sukesh and is cooperating with the authorities in the poochtach against him. But Sukesh's Vakil Anant Malik says this is sarasar jhoot, my lord. Malik has already declared to the media that Jackie and Sukesh were some sort of an item. His exact words were, Jacqueline and Sukesh were dating. These are my instructions. This is straight from the horse's mouth. However, Jacqueline's spokesperson continues to claim that Mrs. Serial Killer has done no guna but is only a gawah in this whole mamla of mal worth 200 crore. A statement issued by them reads, Jacqueline Fernandez is being called to testify as a witness by the ED. She has duly recorded her statements and in future will also be completely cooperating with the agency in the investigations. Jacqueline also categorically denies alleged slanderous statements made about her relationship with the involved couple. This was the statement issued by Jacqueline. While the jury is out on Jacqueline's role and the exact connection with conman Sukesh, he and his wife seem to be the real-life Bunty Bubbly who has swindled karodo ka rokda. And their victims are not just average Joe on the street, these are high-profile names who you would never think would fall for something like this. Sukesh and his Dharampatni Leena were first arrested way back in 2011 for cheating the Chennai-based Canara Bank. Both were later released on bail. But Sukesh found Sukh only in giving people dukh. I mean, he continued duping people. A few years back, a report in the Indian Express narrated how he duped Kochi-based Emmanuel Silks MD T.O. Baiju. Apparently, Sukesh had promised him to bring actor Katrina Kaif for a promotional event and even took 20 lakh rupees from them. But instead of getting Chikni Chameli to them, he gave them a chakma. Although some say he did bring Telugu actor Allu Arjun for the event in Kerala's Kottayam. But bringing Allu was only a ploy to make a bigger Ullu out of his unsuspecting victim. Baiju was quoted as saying, by bringing Allu he won our confidence and promised us to bring in Katrina Kaif. But after some time, he just vanished. Although we had complained to the police, they could not track him down. But as you know, कानून के हाथ बहुत लंबे होते हैं, and Chandu Chor, as many of his victims call him, was back in the jail within a few years. Chandu की चोरी फिर एक बार पकड़ी गई. The year was 2017. He was lodged in Tihar jail after getting arrested in April that year from a hotel in the infamous Election Commission bribery case. Well, his aadat clearly did not change even after coming out on Zamanat. He once again started duping बड़े-बड़े पैसे वाले लोग. और इस बार का वार was सीधा from politics and courts. Chandu would pose as a rishtedar of political leaders and even a Supreme Court judge, no less. Chandu's name had come up in several criminal cases, including extortion cases across the country. But look at the kamal ki kismat of this conman. The kahani of his cons continued unabated from within the jails too. When he was lodged in Delhi's Tihar jail, the reports emerged that he ran karodo ka extortion racket despite being salakho ke piche. And not just that, inside the jail he lived life king size is what we are told. The CCTV footage from the jail showed that Chandrasekhar was given an entire barrack to use all by himself, when in fact it was meant to be shared with dozens of other Qaidis. According to the sources, this Qaidi had his life all sorted out in the jail. He had access to a mobile phone and the area around his bed was covered with curtains to hide that. But Chandu wasn't cheap either. Sources say that he reportedly was giving dhar sara paisa to cover his pap. They said Chandu would pay around 60 to 75 lakh rupees per fortnight as goose just to use the mobile phone. And why not? He put this phone to very good use by conning gullible businessmen bar from behind the bars. Earlier this month, the Delhi police filed a charge sheet against Sukesh, aka Chandu, and his wife, Leena Maria Paul, and 12 others for duping the wife of the former promoter of Ranbaxy. Someday I'll tell you his story too. Trust me, it's far more interesting than any of the latest Bollywood films that I have seen. But coming back to Chandu, he allegedly extorted around 200 crores from Malvinder's Patni Aditi over a period of 1 year. And guess what? He did this even when he himself was in the jail as an under trial. The case was filed after an FIR was lodged by the Delhi Police's Economic Offences Wing on Aditi Singh's complaint. She said that in June last year, a man posing as a senior official of the Law Ministry said he will get the bail for her jailed husband Malvinder. He said, "Aap mujhe paisa do, main aapko azadi deta hu." But clearly, he only kept 50% of his promise. And as you already know, Chandu's staycation in the jail was just aces. His cell was allegedly covered with a chadar to put a parda on his kali kartoots. Yes, because of the bed sheets, the CCTV cameras in the jail cell couldn't capture any of the Gair Kanuni kaam inside the jail. But this party had to end sometime, and soon all the dhandli happening chori chupke was leaked in the press. Some of the footage and the images were also accessed by the media. In total, some 18 accused, including 7 jail officials, were arrested in connection with the 200 crore extortion racket. In September this year, the police had also invoked Makoka, the very stringent Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act, against Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Besides Sukesh, the act was also invoked against 10 others in the case, including his wife Leena. The Delhi Police's Economic Offences Wing also arrested several Tihar jail officials in connection with the extortion racket. Sutro ke mutabik, the investigators found that Sukesh was given the separate cell by the jail officials themselves. Duh. And they were the ones who provided him with a cell phone as well. Duh again. But this cell phone was loaded with an international SIM card also, from which he dialed up his crimes. Wonder if they also got him a kick-ass data package and a free Wi-Fi. The EOW also found out that Sukesh was kept out on parole for 6 months, and on a few occasions there was also male milap in the jail, as Mehman would be in and out of his cell. Yes, believe it or not, sources say guests were also allowed in his jail cell. And if this comes as a surprise to you, then listen to this. During interrogation, Sukesh reportedly claimed that he made monthly payments in crores to Tihar jail officials for all their Saath Sahkar. But it's not like Sukesh spent all his amdani in bribing jailers, jallads and hawaldars. Apart from buying luxurious and fancy items from his ill-earned income, Sukesh also invested in cryptocurrency as per the sources. In fact, he told the ET that he gifted Jacqueline Fernandez and Nora Fatehi 2 expensive cars and watches. After this, ED had summoned the 2 actresses for Poochtash and probe in Chandu's 200 crore extortion racket. But there's no racket in the claims made by the It Really Works vitamins. They really do work. It worked for me when I had massive hair thinning issues last year, and that is why I order it again and again. It packs in all the required vitamins needed for your hair growth and to maintain a healthy scalp. So if you want to order too, then I've got a full 40% off just for all of us. Click on the link in the description to order. If not, then just ignore it, just like how Jacqueline Fernandez ignores logic in the story of most of her films. Let me know your thoughts on this shocking yet amusing saga of a scamster who so easily made a killing by giving dhokas to dhanwans, including netas, abhinetas and udyogpatis. Connect with me on Instagram and on Facebook, and of course like, share and subscribe, and hit on the bell icon if you're already subscribed. But as always, even if you don't do any of these things, thank you so much for watching this one. Please take care of yourself and those around you. Jai Hind.